In the meantime, let's take it straight over to BNSN, the stock game, and take you through how exactly it's played. Our experts join in from the start of the week to the end, get a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees and create a portfolio with a total of 4 stocks. 1 stock from the F&O space, and there's a compulsory churn of 2 stocks every single day. And it's at the end of the week that we'll see who's made the maximum money and declare that person as the winner of the stock game. So let's nail it down to 2 ideas then. Ruchit, Jain, Manish Sharma, C.A. Rudramurthy all standing by to battle it out. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Ruchit, let's talk about Century Textiles. You've retained that from yesterday, and ditto is the call and the case rather with Vedanta.
Yeah, probably amongst yesterday's trades, I've retained these 2 calls. Positionally, I think both the stocks show very quite good upside momentum in near term. Century Textile has rebounded from its support range of 487, 490, and it has formed a reversal pattern over there. So I am expecting a rebound at least up to 545 in next one in this week itself. So with the stop loss below 506, it's a good buying opportunity even at current levels for a target of 545. The next call was of Vedanta. Probably, as I told on Monday also, I'm just expecting a pullback move in this counter. The stock is quite oversold, trading near its long-term support levels, and hence a pullback move could lead the stocks towards 68 zone. So with the stop loss below 62, I've retained this stock as a buy for target of 68 in this week.
Vedanta is actually holding up quite well. Remember, this company will be coming out with its earnings tomorrow. So comfortably a percent up in trade right now. 68 is the target. Ruchit has put in that. Meanwhile, let's touch base with Manish Sharma then. And Manish, let's start off with your first call for the day. And you were retaining that long call on Coal India futures.
My first call is buy call in Coal India. Coal India was the outperformer stock in last few trading sessions. Now the stocks look very strong on the multi-time frame charts. There is a strong support zone around 295 odd levels. So from a short-term trading perspective, one can definitely hold the long position in this counter. Place a stop loss at 290 and look for the target of around 315.
And Manish, you were shorting a GAIL for today. Run us through the rationale behind that.
My second call is sell call in GAIL India. In GAIL India, we have witnessed very strong amount of short build-up in the last few trading sessions, looking very weak as per the chart structure, trading well below the short-term averages. Channel breakdown seen below 360 odd levels, so one can definitely go short in this for a target price of around 340 and fix the stop loss at 365.
Okay, that's the call coming in on some individual stocks that in fact Manish is watching out for. Coal India, a sell call on GAIL. Stock though is currently up in the green. Mr. Rudramurthy, let's talk about your picks. You've stuck to the mid caps as well. A buy recommendation on Tata Coffee. What looks good on this one? And Nilkamal, you're shorting the stock.
See, first of all, I have a buy call on Tata Coffee. Stock is finding strong support at the levels of 90 rupees. Also, stock is consolidating in the broad range of 90 rupees to 110. Now, on the lower band of this consolidating range, I want to buy Tata Coffee and I expect targets of 99 rupees for the day on Tata Coffee, and it can even further go up and test levels of 110, and once it gives breakout above 110, further higher levels can be seen on Tata Coffee. But for the day, I am buying Tata Coffee with a target of 99, keeping a stop loss at 95 rupees 50 paise. I have a second sell call on Nilkamal. See, Nilkamal has been facing stiff resistance at levels of 1350 to 1380. Now, stock even on valuation parameters looks very expensive. So, Nilkamal for me is a clear sell. For a short-term retracement trade, I look at targets of 1250 on Nilkamal with a strict stop loss of 1351. However, those who are looking for a longer time frame to buy Nilkamal for a portfolio investment, they can definitely consider buying Nilkamal at lower levels of 1250 support and even below that at 1180. So my sell call on Nilkamal is strictly on overvaluation parameters, and I see targets of 1250 to come for the day with a strict stop loss of 1351.
Keep in mind, this company came out with its numbers as well on Monday evening. Nilkamal, that's an earnings reaction also come through. We did see profits more than doubling this time around. EBITDA margins also improved. Nevertheless, the stock has taken quite a knock in the session right now. But let's get you then a quick glimpse at what's happening with the overall portfolios as well for our experts, and start off with Ruchit's portfolio for the day. You've got Century Textiles, that long call, as well as the one on Bank of Baroda not working out too well. In fact, Bank of Baroda futures have been stopped out already, but Vedanta, Sun Pharma making him a good amount of money. But overall, the portfolios lost about 5,000 rupees roughly. For Manish Sharma, well, it was it's not looking all that great. As you can see, the portfolio is absolutely in the red. None of the names have been stopped out just as yet, but we've got losses which have grown to almost 11,500 rupees. And lastly, take a look at Rudramurthy's portfolio. Majesco, that was a long call that's been stopped out, but Quality Dairy, Nilkamal, Tata Coffee are all making him a good amount of money, and he's currently definitely in the leading spot with gains of over 4%. That's about close to 20,000 rupees.
Okay, that's how things stand right now with the portfolios. Not too bad. It's been a little bit of a stable week, so to speak, for the equity markets. But lots more ideas as well to look forward to. So let's talk about the next pick. Well, it's a great call, Ruchit. BOB is on a tear right now. The stock that we'll be discussing, it's seen quite a bit of an up move. Now you're betting on the futures. Take us through, Ruchit, as to whether or not this is just a short-term recommendation, or do you think BOB has the legs to even, break through some crucial levels on the upside, and in tandem with some of the other PSU banks, see a bit of a leg up in the medium term as well?
Yeah, so last week we have seen that Bank of Baroda had formed a small hammer pattern on the daily charts, and also that was in the very oversold zone. So that's why we are expecting a pullback move in the near term in the stock. Probably 134 and 137 are the levels which we are watching out that the stock should test in this week itself. Unfortunately, today, in the intraday trade, the stop loss which was given has been stopped out. But again, the stock has recovered from the lower levels, and I think the stock would head higher up to 137 in this week. So probably even at current levels, from trading perspective, one should look to buy. Positionally, the stock stop loss could be kept below 120 if anyone is going long in the stock at current levels.
And keeping with the rest of the banking space as well, Bank of Baroda in the last month or so has lost about 18%, but an intraday trading call there coming in from Ruchit. Let's talk about then a BPCL from the oil marketing space. And Manish, you were shorting a BPCL for the day. We've seen, of course, crude prices tumbling, but what's the technical charts here telling you?
My third call is sell call in BPCL. Overall chart structure looks very much a negative, like neckline broken off head and shoulder pattern on the daily charts. Momentum is clearly on the downside. Stock is facing a strong resistance zone around 900 odd zone. So one can definitely go short in this for a target price of around 830 and fix a stop loss at 900.
Okay, that's BPCL for you at 879, just about flat in the session. And Manish talking about shorting that candidate with a stop loss at 900 for targets of 830. Rudra, let's talk about the next mid-cap call, Quality Dairy, one that we don't chat about often. Is this a good time to buy into the stock at the current levels? What do you make of it?
See, I'm continuing my buy call on Quality Dairy from yesterday. Stock is finding strong support at levels of 95 rupees, and it is just making pullback from those strong support zones. For the day, I was looking at buying Quality for a target of 117 with a stop loss of 105. Also, stock trading above 110 is also a clear-cut buy level for me for all type of traders, and even above 124, 125, it looks for a next strong breakout which can even test levels of 140, 145. So Quality for me is a very strong buy. For the day, I am looking for targets of 117 with a stop loss of 105.
And in fact, if you look at the numbers as well for the company, well, there wasn't much really to take away. Margins remain largely stable in that range of 6.5%. And we did see some taxation changes taking a knock on the bottom line for a Quality Dairy. Well, let's move on and discuss the last idea that each of our experts have picked out. And Ruchit's last idea, the fourth idea, is coming in from the large cap space, a Sun Pharma. A rather choppy month, you'd have to say, is what the stock has seen, Ruchit, from, in fact, right now, I think it's trading at the highest that we've had in the last month or so at the level of 820. Just this morning, they've also received a US FDA approval. What are the charts on a Sun Pharma telling you? How much headroom does the stock have for the near term?
Well, since the month of April, we have seen the stock has corrected significantly from its all-time highs. Now, what has been observed that in last few days, when Nifty has corrected, Nifty had shown a sharp fall. The stock had remained sideways. So probably it had outperformed the market correction in last few trading sessions. And now on Monday the stock had shown breakout from a consolidation zone. So that's why I had on the verge of the breakout I had given this as a buy call. Now, in near term, 826 is a major resistance for the stock. In case 826 gets crossed today or tomorrow, then probably the short-term trend would reverse and the stock would head up to 860 levels. So, looking at the breakout from a consolidation, I am anticipating that this 826 resistance would be crossed and the stock would head towards 816 very short term.
Okay, that's a call coming in. Sun Pharma is clearly doing well today. Of course, there's been fundamental news to back that one. Ramco Systems, let's quickly take note of the news. It's positive. They've got orders from AAI Worldwide Logistics. Haven't got exactly what the orders are pertaining to and how much the orders are worth. That would be important to understand as well. But nonetheless, the stock is clearly taking heed to that information as we speak. It's shot up. The volumes also are fairly supportive. It's a 3% up move on Ramco Systems as we speak. But let's move right on then and chat about some more of the ideas on the show that you can watch out for. And let's nail it down to Manish's last recommendation. You spoke about shorting BPCL. There's another large cap on your radar then, Manish. It's a Z Entertainment. What's the reason for the sell call?
My last call is sell call in Z. Overall, Z looking very weak on the charts, trading with a very strong negative bias on the charts. We have seen a substantial fall in this series. The stock is facing a strong resistance zone around 400 odd levels. We may see some more technical correction in this counter, so one can definitely go short in this for a target price of around 370 and fix a stop loss at 405.
Okay, that's the call coming in on a Z Entertainment. Meanwhile, Rudra, you've picked out a Majesco. Tell us what you're tracking here.
See, Majesco has been my call continuing from yesterday. Stock has given a clear breakout above 540 levels and it already tested levels of even 760, 765. Now in the mid-cap correction, this stock was not an exception. It took correction from levels of 765 it reached and it tested all the way till its strong support zones of 540. Now at 540 above levels, stock looks very good. I had given a very tight stop loss and stop loss has just got triggered, but still keeping aside that, even at current levels, it's a great buy. One should look at targets of 625 immediately and above that levels of 650 to 660 is also visible, above which the stock can further continue its up move. So keeping a tight stop loss of 540 now, one can definitely look at buying for all time frames.
Okay, there you have it. That's a call coming in on Majesco, 2% higher as we speak. But let's take it to the calculators and understand how each of our experts are faring right now. Ruchit Jain, well, for now it's only BOB, which is a damp squib given that he's been stopped out there. Barring that, Century Textiles also in the red. He's losing out just a little bit, about 4,900 rupees as we speak. Manish Sharma up next. Well, it's not looking good for him today. All of the stocks are currently showing you red on the screen. Nothing has been stopped out. No targets have been hit either. 2% down, that would be about 11,000 odd rupees off. C. Rudramurthy, Majesco is the one that's in the red. Barring that, it's the rest of the stocks which are holding out, and take a look at the stellar gains he's making on quality as well as Neel Kamal. 20,400 rupees is what he's making at this point in time, which means this pecking order as of now is C. Rudramurthy followed by Ruchit Jain and then Manish Sharma. But on that note, gentlemen, thanks so much for sharing with us your top calls and being with us on this leg of BNS and the stock game. We wrap it up. Up next is Market Sense.